Okay, so you've decided you want a tiger. You're gonna start telling everybody that you need one, that you want one, and that you will be able to take care of it. You've watched some of my videos and you're convinced you can do it. You can have a tiger. Now, imagine within the next 10 minutes somebody puts that tiger, a little cub, 1 month old, into your hands. Just live into that moment for a second, right now. So you've got the tiger in your hands. Well, prepare for this. That's a little dog, maybe 5 pounds. Within 6, 7, 8, 9 months, you're gonna have this, and you're gonna have to keep him entertained. You're gonna have to feed him. The pressure just on getting an enclosure built in such a small time, it's huge. And an enclosure needs a space to be built on. So you first have to most probably arrange some kind of a piece of land. And you have to be close to your house because you want to keep that tiger in your house. So you have to have that in place already. When I got Enzo, I was not prepared at all to have a tiger. But he was in my hands and I had to do whatever I could. Luckily, on my property there's enough space and I was able to build an enclosure. But that enclosure, it cost a lot and it was a lot of work. Let me just get through here. I think the first thing that you have to have when you want to get a tiger is to be able to put in time. Because if you have to hire someone to do all the work, it's never going to end. As long as you've got that tiger, you're going to have to pick up after it, get its food out, defrost it, feed them. I feed them every day. 5 o'clock, I'm usually already done feeding them. So you have to really know what you are letting yourself into. And even if you have got the space, you have to make sure that they can't get over the walls. That wall over there, let me just, before he pees on me, that's how quick you have to be with these tigers. Let me just count there how many feet that is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9-foot wall right there. And I'd say that's enough. The electric fence on the top, that's not to keep the tigers in. That's to rather keep someone out. Because that's not really going to do much. I remember Enzo getting through one of those fences once before onto the neighbor's roof. And he just went through it. He was on top of a car. He was little. And he went through that electric fence like it was nothing. He didn't even care about it. Here he's coming back now. He didn't care about that electric fence. That was just an extra 1 second to keep him from going over. So it's not worth getting into this kind of thing if you are just doing it for having a pet. Like I've said before, having a pet is one thing. You go to a pet shop, you buy that pet. This is an animal that came into my life and it changed everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy he did. This is the best thing I've ever experienced in my life. But you have to know what you're getting yourself into. When you get that little cub in your hands, and believe me, they're strong, even as cubs. If he gets you on the finger, he takes that finger off. You have to keep your fingers out of the back of his mouth, because that's where the scissors are. If he gets you, your finger is off. And you know, people want to come over and play with the cub, and you have to get a lot of plasters, because every time someone comes over to play with them, at 2 minutes they bleed once, at 5 minutes they bleed twice. That is how it is. Get yourself a little kitten from the pet shop, and you are gonna love that cat. When you compare them to a tiger, you will see that they've got the same teeth, just smaller. They've got the same everything. They don't have the same stripes, but they are really worth having. You can see how Enzo is turning around here. I think he's getting a little bit irritated with me explaining how he is not. Let me go there quickly. These two boys, they're probably just playing. Now why I say probably is you can never be sure. Although I've had them so long, you can never know exactly what's going in their minds. Let's just see what's going to happen now. They're just playing, but they are very able to hurt one another. I don't think they will, because they've never. And look at that playfulness of Enzo, just quickly getting himself out of the way when he turned around, because a tiger jumps up on your back whenever you turn your back to him. And Diego knows that, and Enzo knows that. Look at him there, he's going back again, looking for trouble. Enzo, okay? Kom hier, Sienna. I'm just calling Enzo. Let's see if he comes. He always comes when I talk to him. Ah, Sienna. Is hy stout? That means, are you naughty in Afrikaans? And now he's just taking a walk. Shows you how quick they change whatever they're doing. But there's the, no, everything is fine. That's what that chuff means. And Diego has already forgotten about it. But one thing about these tigers, they live in the now, and they can change at any moment. Now Enzo is the one that's just doing nothing, and Diego is the one that's acting like the boss at the moment. Well, let me put it to you like this. If that tiger is running at 60 kilometers an hour, I think that's like 40 miles an hour, and he gets into contact with a concrete wall, he's able to run through that wall. I've seen what happens firsthand when a tiger is up to speed. They build up that momentum, and it's not easy to stop that. A lot of people have talked about my fences that don't look strong enough. They are a bit flexible. I believe that will help with distributing the force if they ever run straight into it. I've seen Enzo once coming out of the pool, storming towards that glass that I've got up here at my house. This is a huge thick window, and it is supposed to be tiger proof, although when he hit this glass, I remember this whole house shaking. And that's why I've done this whole part over here, to make sure that it never happens again. And well, it gives you a little bit more access to their area. Right, so I'm trying to convince people not to get a tiger. It's not something that you just want to keep. If you have got the place to keep it, and the ability and everything is in place, if one shows up, well, then you can take him in, give him a good home. But you're going to have to know that you're going to be into it for a long time. And how long is a long time? It could be 25 years. And the thing is, you don't keep them alone. So even though Enzo might only live 25 years, it doesn't mean Diego won't be there after that. And I can't keep Diego without a friend. I would have to get another one. So it's actually something where you enter into, that's going to become your life.